We're here today with you guys to talk about what Dasia's done and how the United Way and how Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board has made this possible for this young lady. So if you do me a favor, just go around and say who you are and your title and what you do.
Okay, my name is Aleina Smith and I'm the program manager for WorkReady Pittsburgh out of Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board.
I'm Dasia Johnson, interning at People's Natural Gas.
And my name's Alicia Chatkins. I'm Director of Programs for Children and Youth at United Way of Allegheny County and a WorkReady Pittsburgh host.
So before we start poking at Dasia too much, because that's what we're going to do a lot today, right? We're going to ask her lots of really deep, involved questions, and then have her give these really astute answers so that everyone can hear like what a great job she did. How did this all come about? Like, how does the United Way and Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board collaborate to make it possible to give these opportunities to young people?
Well, the Workforce Investment Board is responsible for looking at the county and the city's kind of movement towards providing employment for dislocated adults. And probably about 4 years ago, there was a conversation and looking at a program called WorkReady out of Philadelphia. And there was interest in looking at how we could increase the pipeline for youth. And that would be students between the ages of 16 and 20. And so a couple of individuals from the foundation community and our CEO, Stephanie Pashman, went to Philadelphia, looked at the program, and they loved it. And so they brought the program back to Pittsburgh. And over time, it's been an opportunity for us to engage with our corporate partners to really have students aligned with companies that can connect them to areas that they're interested in, high-performing occupations. So Dasia specifically had expressed an interest in engineering as part of her application and interview process. And we have a great partnership with People's Natural Gas. And so that's where the conversation began, and she was able to be placed in the engineering department working with the business administrator there. So our goal is to ultimately provide young students the opportunity to really think about their futures. We're not saying that post-secondary education is for everyone, but even looking at a technical or trade experience or a 2-year opportunity, but really trying to get them at a very young age exposed to a corporate environment and a professional standard of how you perform in the workplace.
Okay, so you guys, you go out and you find big corporations, I assume, that want to support this kind of work. So can you give a brief list maybe of who's involved? We've heard People's Natural Gas, but are there others?
Yeah, we actually have a long list. This year we had 26 different companies, and United Way was obviously one of those partners. We have FedEx Ground, Xerox, PNC Bank, BNY Mellon, UPMC Health System. The list can go on and on. I don't want to forget anyone. Fifth Third Bank, right. There's a long list.
And I'm sure there's a website that kind of features and highlights all of these different corporate partners. Right. And how did the United Way get involved?
United Way really kind of got involved to assist with growing the WorkReady effort. This is its 4th summer in Pittsburgh, and so in an effort to really sort of reach out to more companies, United Way is the business community's philanthropy in essence, and so we kind of really tried to tap into our network of 750 companies that give, advocate, volunteer, and would you be willing to host a young person in a work experience over the summer? So we did a lot of individual meetings, connections, different things like that to really put some innovative placements into place that worked for WorkReady and the Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board. And United Way's mission overall is to help the community thrive. Working in the programs for children and youth, we want children to succeed in school and life. WorkReady is one piece of that long pipeline, and so helping the Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board, the students, the companies was just a natural fit for United Way.
So let's talk about how it all comes together. So if I was a company, how would I get involved? And if I was a student, how would I get involved?
Well, the way that we do it from the company point of view is that we have all these great existing relationships, and what we like is for those companies that have had an experience with the WorkReady program to kind of share that with their business partners. But then we also have a very aggressive plan where we go out and we meet with individuals. And as Alicia said, United Way has been a part of that this past summer, where we really kind of go in and try to establish new partnerships. And then we We also have an interest form that's located on our website. We've done a number of things with Blender and the Pittsburgh Business Times to really try to promote the program and encourage those companies to actively get involved. From a student end, we actually have some great partnerships with community-based organizations that the Workforce Investment Board either funds through a number of projects that we have, but then we also have some other agencies that we work with just on a continued basis in terms of looking at employment opportunities. So we encourage those organizations to work with their youth year-round in terms of soft skills and job readiness. Then when the application process opens, we encourage them to apply. So Dasia is actually part of YouthWorks, which is out of Goodwill of Southwestern PA.
I see. So you have these affiliate organizations that help sort of organize the kids, right?
Right. So they essentially assist in the recruitment process. The student has to go online. They submit the application. All the applications come through. To me, essentially, so this year we received over 180 applicants, and we interviewed every single one of them.
So is there a type of kid that you're looking to help fill a gap for?
I think first and foremost is interest. If that student took enough time to apply, then obviously we give them that courtesy of just interviewing them. And we recognize that an interview may be a scary experience for a young person. So those are things that I'm, kind of, I don't want to say trained to kind of look at, because let's face it, you and I were both there at some point.
Well, maybe not.
Probably. So that's what I always try to do is put myself in the student's shoes to think about their experience and how they're responding to the interview. And then ultimately, again, it goes back to where are they looking to be in a certain period of time in their life? And is there a potential match with a company that we have a relationship with where we can see that student kind of blossoming? So there isn't a particular student that we're looking for, but we want to give the student an opportunity that's really going to take it and run with it.
And if I could interject too, what's unique about the Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board's model for sort of youth work is really it's sort of a pyramid, and WorkReady is the pinnacle. Right. Students have kind of gone through that soft skill training and development, maybe working with an organization like YouthWorks or the Human Services Center Corporation or others, and they've acquired certain skills, and then they've maybe had a volunteer placement, and then a couple years later they might be prepared for the WorkReady experience, which is typically not the student's first work experience, corporate work experience, yes, but they've had a lot of training and life experience leading up to that, which is really a unique model that, again, as a host agency, I see it in my own interns. They are so prepared, and there's this willingness and this zeal to just work and take in and learn as much as they can.
Well, and Dasia, before I started asking you a bunch of really tough questions, like I probably still couldn't go on an interview and be successful. This is why I run this place, right? It's a lower bar for me. I can just kind of cruise around, wear jeans every day, funky t-shirts. But so you hear these guys talking about like this large project that they've built to help high school kids kind of find their way, find their purpose. And does that just resonate with you? Does that mean something to you? So these are where the tough questions come in. Like, does that have some sort of deeper meaning to you? Like, do you get sort of the amount of resources that go into creating something like this?
I believe it means so much. I mean, I could be working at Kennywood. I could be working at McDonald's.
Right.
I could be, I don't know, working at any fast food, minimum wage job. But coming in high school, having a corporate job, I never thought I'd have. Like, this is amazing.
And while there's nothing wrong with kind of having that first job at a fast food joint, the hope is that your experience at People's Natural Gas is going to give you different skills. It's going to give you a bigger view of the world. So maybe you could tell us some of the things that you saw while you were working in this corporate environment that were new to you, that you didn't necessarily know before you started.
Well, let's see.
In the culture, maybe just in the workload, in the pacing of your day.
Yeah, and is it only engineers at People's?
No, there's like different type of managers. I'm not sure what they did. Technical managers, business administrators. human resources.
So maybe just the breadth, the size of all of these different options for you. Like, was that something you were kind of aware of going in? Did you know that to make people's natural gas kind of run, like all these different people had to do all these kind of different jobs?
No, I didn't know that. There's dispatch, there's land, there's people that control your gas, like they can cut you off.
I went for my site visit and I was like, Dasia, how about that bill?
Yeah. or spare me, David, please.
The work is pretty time consuming though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not boring, but it's just like.
It's different, right? Yeah. So like, you're probably used to studying, right? Because you're a really good student at West Mifflin.
Yeah.
But still different, right? Like it's different than your responsibilities as a high school kid.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So now looking forward, you're about to go into your senior year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do after you graduate? What are you gonna go to college for?
I'm going to CMU, Carnegie Mellon University, to I want to multiple major in architecture, engineering, and finance. But my mentor said that's not a good idea because architectures don't sleep the first 3 years. But I believe I can do that. I mean, I don't want to burn myself out there, so.
So do you think architecture, do you think that kind of satisfies a creative urge in you? Is that kind of why you're leaning to that?
Yes.
Do you like to like draw and like do things artistically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. But then you like stick in finance, which is kind of the opposite of creative thinking. So is there like two sides of your brain you're working against? Like, are you having a fight internally in your brain?
Engineering like puts them all together. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it comes together if you really think.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. I mean, I want to help the world.
So how does that kind of degree path? How do you envision like an architecture, finance? I think you mentioned urban planning before we kind of started to. Like, how does that translate into having an impact on the world?
Well, I can. The position, the title of my position will be CEO of America 2.0.
Awesome.
So,
What is America 2.0?
That's her brand, right?
yes.
Wow.
I will hand you my resume when we're finished.
Already hired. She's so.
As an intern, I assume.
Good job, yeah. I will go get your coffee, Miss Dasia.
No, I'm not gonna be that type of boss. I'm gonna be like so cool. God.
So I mean, I hear that you have like a grand plan, right? That you're going to go out there and you're really attack the world, and I think that what these ladies next to you were trying to provide you with is a couple things, and you can stop me if I'm off base here. But first is probably a network of adults who can help you.
Stakeholders.
There you go. Look,
We did. We had a great partnership with Luma Institute this summer as part of our professional development series with the students. So the students are at their site Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday they all come together. It's an opportunity for them to kind of share what their experiences have been at their sites with one another, but then it's an opportunity for us to kind of, again, strengthen those professional skills. And we embarked on this relationship with Luma. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they really look at this human design concept and looking at stakeholders. So here's where Dasia is today, 2014. Where is she going to be in 2029? And then in between all of that, who are her stakeholders, what are the resources that she has, and how are those things, if she uses them in certain ways, different paths, how will they get her to where she wants to be in 2029?
Because you can't underestimate the power of connection, right? Or the power of people in your network who can move you along. So did you have a mentor at People's Natural Gas like assigned to you, sort of? Or you were just in a department, kind of?
Department.
Yeah.
Kind of, like my supervisor is business administrator.
Do
So
you-
I worked right under her.
Do you see those people as individuals moving forward, even when you're done with this whole process, that you'll call upon, that you'll ask for assistance, guidance?
Yes.
Yeah. What about them makes them accessible to you now? Like, can you talk about the relationship maybe on a personal level that you built with them?
Mr. Nick he's an engineer. He's young. he just came out of college. Well, not just, but he's like really cool. And I think he can guide me in engineering and what to do, what not to do, and because I want to be a civil engineer.
Yeah, so Mr. Nick showed an interest in you, I assume, then, right? Yeah, showed an interest in kind of your development, and so you feel comfortable
Yeah.
kind of going to, so now, it's your sophomore year of college, and you're in your first civil engineering course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd email Mr. Nick and bother him with questions? You think that's a relationship that's going to continue down the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I believe that the relationship, not just in being in the same building with Mr. Nick at People's Natural Gas, has been established, but this is something that I think I've seen change with a lot of the interns this summer. We talked a lot about the simple things that maybe you and I, we already know because we've been in the world. Simple things like shaking hands, making eye contact, getting the business card, recognizing that, put a little note on the back, you never know when you might need that person, and you want to have a little fact that you can remember them by. So those are all the things that we continue to kind of instill in them. But one of the things that I know about this young lady right here is that she realizes the value of her resources, because I just received an invitation from her to be her friend on LinkedIn. A 17-year-old invite on LinkedIn. So I'm sure Mr. Nick probably got the same invite, or he might at some point, but that's, that aha that they recognize that, first of all, I need to have a LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
Really? I was like, well, I don't even have one. And then second of all, just starting to develop their own community and their resources. And
that's really super important, right? I mean, and honestly, I blew it all the way through my 20s doing that. I was too busy doing my own thing. So you're 20 years ahead of me. You really are. I'm not even exaggerating. And that's what's cool about these kind of things, is that, by giving a kid practical, real world experience in a group of adults that are outside their normal interaction, that's the little stuff. It's the shaking hands, it's the eye contact, it's the ability to ask, right? You have to be comfortable enough to say, hey, can you help me? And a lot of times, I think kids struggle with that. Kids struggle with that? Am I just saying things?
They do.
Yeah.
A little, sometimes.
Yeah. So you're going to get this big network out of this, of adults and professionals who can help you through your college and your career and all that stuff, right? The program is designed to give you some sort of tangible, practical experience, right? What else is the program going to deliver to these kids, do you guys think?
My hope, and it may be a wishy-washy hope, is that it will instill in them the responsibility that when they get to the place that they want to get, that they give it back.
Yeah, pass it on.
And for me, I feel like that's why I do the work that I do, because I was Dasia at some point, and I had wonderful opportunities presented to me, and I either could take them or I could just let them pass me by. And in deciding to take them, I met some great adults who continue to encourage me and invest in me and allow me to recognize my potential. And I think we all have that responsibility to encourage a young person to recognize their potential as well.
And if I can add something too, so on the flip side, I think there's a real opportunity for the business community to be educated and enlightened about our talented young people. We're a region of champions. We love our Steelers. We love the Penguins. We love the Pirates. Youth workforce is a place where our region actually struggles.
Yeah.
In the past year, Pittsburgh's been documented around 75th out of 100 metropolitan areas for employing young people. WorkReady is an incredible opportunity, and so as a workplace host, even watching the other United Way employees react to young people and being like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. I totally would have never thought about this concept this way. It's a tremendous opportunity, and I think what we're finding is that our workplace partners are excited. There's this new life breathed into their organizations, their companies, and it's a win-win-win. It's a win for the young person, it's a win for the company, it's a win for our region.
Definitely.
So Dasia, what do you think you brought to those people, right? So a lot of times I think people assume this is a one-way street of benefit, but probably not, right? You probably brought something into People's Natural Gas, and I wonder if you even realize sort of the value that you added there. Do you have any kind of gut reaction to what you might have contributed?
I don't really know exactly. I just go to work, do the work, love it, and leave. But I strongly do believe that the workforce needs young, vibrant people because we are very creative, young. I mean, we are not burned out. Not that y'all are, but we just
totally
have
ideas.
We just have new, fresh ideas, and we could like add to the company, take from the company.
Well, and I think you nailed it. I think it's freshness, it's vigor, it's enthusiasm, it's all the things that as you go through your career are hard to maintain. And sometimes the best way to get that back is to force interaction outside your box. So you guys are delivering to these companies a level of discomfort, but in discomfort, we move forward.
That's right.
You can't be stuck. You can't stay comfortable.
That is, that's exactly it, right. So now let's think. So what was your brand? It was something 2.0. I've already forgotten it.
CEO of America 2.0.
CEO of America 2.0. It's now 2025, and you're CEO of America 2.0. Do you think that this experience, do you think you'll be able to look back on this experience and point to it as something that contributed to your growth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I freaking love WorkReady so much.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry, okay? Don't do it.
I've never had anybody cry on a podcast. You'd be the first one.
I realize how favored and how blessed I am with the opportunity. Oh my goodness. And every young child needs to have this.
Yeah.
Every young child, because, I mean, our generation might not be the best. But after this, we need to go somewhere. We're going to go somewhere.
Well, and I think that there's a lot of people in the Pittsburgh region that are starting to recognize that inclusion of this younger generation is an absolute. And we've been in a traditional sort of blue-collar, post-industrial mentality for a long, long time. And what drives city politics, what drives the region's entrepreneurship, what drives the region's economic growth is often just one class and one group of people. And I know that here where we work in Allentown, it's important that we start providing entrepreneurship opportunities to more diverse group of people, because those are the folks that are going to be responsible for things like the employment rate in our region in the next 10 years. So you guys are doing a great job, and it's great and important work. And Dasia, just you doing it is super important, and telling your friends about it and talking about it on the Twitter or back at your high school. Like, it's that kind of things that's going to inspire people in the grades below you to take this risk. And I know this because like I was telling you earlier, like I ran a program similar to this for kids in chemistry departments when I was a chemistry teacher. And it took 7 years to get to that kind of critical mass stage, but like now it's self-sustaining. Right. And I'm here and other people are running it, and the kids still fill it every year and kind of move it forward. So anybody have any kind of closing takeaway statements before we wrap up?
I don't want to cry. Okay.
If I can interject, again, as a workplace host, there are just innumerable benefits, tangible and intangible. The enthusiasm, the hard work, the amazing speed that my WorkReady interns, major shout out to Janae and Indy right now. They have worked through every project quicker than I anticipated, with humor, with zeal, and added additional projects where they've said, if we take it a step further, I think we can get from here to here, and that's been all them. And then our role becomes supporting them. Coming in, they are providing a bit of support to us as employers, but truly, it's a two-way street, and we're supporting them the whole way. I think WorkReady is a great vehicle for companies to, really sort of, you want to say you're investing in your region, host some young people in the workplace. Let's do it. And I know there's going to be probably some kickoffs and some events in the fall where companies could link up with the Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board. United Way is going to be there supporting this the whole way through.
And I think we want to look at it as this continuum of engagement. It's not just a 6-week summer internship that we're looking for our corporate partners to invest in. We're looking at them to invest in kind of the life learning experience that these young students will have. And so as we're looking at wrapping the program up this week, we're looking at where we begin in the fall. You know, we've had conversations with FedEx Ground about doing, you know, workshops during the holiday breaks with our students to really think about resume building, public speaking, how to interview. So we want to engage our corporate partners also in using a lot of the strengths that they have with their employees, because one of the things that we recognize is that that breath of fresh air coming in from the student also reinvigorates the employees. They're realizing that they contribute to the bottom line and the mission of the organization in different ways as well. So we really want to just look at, you know, that year-round engagement, and I think it's definitely worth the investment because it's going to change the landscape of our region and the workforce in terms of that pipeline that we're creating for young people.
What year did you start doing this? Was it your junior year?
Yeah, this is my first year.
So do kids do it just 1 year, or can kids do it over 2 years?
We actually have a number of students that are in it this summer who did it last summer. So we have a student that was at UPMC one summer, and he's interested in becoming a non-traditional doctor, so more of a homeopathic alternative medicine. And he's also interested in sports. So this summer we have him placed at the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's awesome.
And then we had a student who's just really interested in this idea of great customer service, not just from a sales kind of experience. So she worked at the Habitat for Humanity store in Braddock Hills, I believe, and she is now working at Giant Eagle. And her experience has been twofold. For the 6 weeks, it was split, where 3 weeks, her and another student actually worked at a store. So they were physically in the store, stocking the shelves, working in the cheese department, you know, just really understanding, you know, what the team leaders do at the Giant Eagle. And then the next 3 weeks, which is the period that we're in now, they are actually at the RIDC Park in Harmarville, working in the corporate offices of Giant Eagle.
So Dasia, can you talk a little bit about like the day-to-day, what you did, like the pragmatic sort of everyday skills that you got to hone? We talked a little bit upstairs about it, but like what did you do daily? Like you went to work, drank some coffee, hung out at the water cooler?
Came into work, logged in my computer, checked emails, make sure I got anything from Miss Shelley, my supervisor. I would do her work. She'd tell me how to do it. Microsoft, Excel, learn some things off that. Very time-consuming jobs. I did filing, bulk mailing.
Did you sit in on staff meetings?
Yeah.
Not so much?
No, I had to go somewhere else when she gave presentations and stuff like that. I had to go in the land department and do some filing for them.
Yeah. So I guess the takeaway then, right, is that this program is a mix of like of practical skills for you, but it's also like a network for you, right? It's all that stuff. Cool. Well, ladies, thank you so much for sitting down and telling us all about it. It's wonderful. It's great. And I'm sure we're going to do more of these, I hope, and bring in some more young people to kind of talk about their experience. And as we do it, that'll raise the visibility more broadly around the Pittsburgh region. And then folks will, you know, those barriers to entry will just kind of...
Well, we definitely like to thank you all for
Yes,
giving
thank you.
us the opportunity. We definitely appreciate all of your assistance as well.